In a deep, quiet forest, tucked away from the hustle of the world, everything had its own voice. It was a symphony of life, where every single thing played its part. Can you imagine it? The ancient trees, with their leaves rustling, seemed to whisper secrets to one another whenever the wind blew through their branches. High above, the birds weren't just chirping. They were singing songs of pure, unfiltered joy, their melodies echoing through the green canopy. And the river, oh, the river. It didn't just flow. It softly murmured its ancient tales, stories of the mountains it came from and the sea it was journeying to. Everything was alive. Everything spoke in a perfect, beautiful harmony. It was a world where you could feel the pulse of nature in every breath of air. But one day, that harmony was broken. Humans entered the forest. They didn't come to listen. They came to take. With heavy axes clutched in their hands and a clamor of greed in their hearts, their minds were filled with noise, drowning out the gentle sounds around them. They saw the trees not as storytellers, but as timber. The rhythmic thud of their axes replaced the whispers of the wind. They cut down the ancient trees one by one, leaving behind stumps that looked like silent tombstones. They didn't stop there. They changed the river's path, forcing it into new, unnatural channels to suit their own needs. The river's gentle murmurs turned into a choked gurgle. Slowly, tragically, the forest began to lose its voice. The symphony faded into a dissonant hum, and then into nothing. The birds, with no branches to build their nests on, and no songs to compete with the noise, flew away in search of a new home. The deer, the foxes, the rabbits, all the animals that had once roamed freely, disappeared into the shadows, their soft footsteps no longer gracing the forest floor. And soon, the only sound left was a profound, deafening silence. The silence of loss. The silence of absence. The vibrant, living world had been muted. Where there was once a chorus, there was now a void. Time, as it always does, passed. Years turned into decades. In that deep, lonely silence, something miraculous happened. A tiny seed, buried beneath the leaf litter, stirred. Pushing its way through the soil, it sprouted into a fragile, small plant. It was just a single green shoot in a vast, quiet landscape. As it grew, it seemed to whisper to the empty sky, not with sound, but with its very being. Its message was simple. I will speak, but through my existence. It was a quiet promise, a declaration of life in a place that had forgotten what life sounded like. The seasons changed, painting the silent forest with their colors. The small plant grew stronger, taller, its roots digging deep into the earth. Its resilience was a silent song of hope. Inspired by its quiet strength, other seeds began to sprout. Ferns uncurled. Saplings reached for the sun. More and more trees grew, their leaves catching the wind and starting to whisper once again. The river, no longer constrained, found its old path and began to sing its soft, murmuring songs again. The forest was slowly, patiently, finding its voice once more. The birds returned, their melodies tentative at first, then bursting with joy as they reclaimed their home. The forest had learned something powerful during its long silence. It learned that even in the quietest moments, nature speaks. It tells us a profound truth, a message we all need to hear. When humans finally learn to listen to silence, nature begins to speak again. The story of this forest is a reminder for all of us. We need to learn to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. We need to find the quiet places, tune out the noise of our busy lives, and just be present. Because even in what seems like total silence, nature is telling its most beautiful and important stories. It speaks in the unfurling of a leaf, the slow journey of a cloud across the sky, and the persistent growth of a single, tiny seed. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more stories that connect us to the world around us. Let's all try to listen a little more closely.